Hey, Ralph. Sorry, got caught in some Portland traffic.
I was going to say, you're not in Texas anymore.
I'm not in Texas anymore. I know. I get to sit outside and in long sleeves. Like, what? I love
freezing.
it. I know.
And all that humidity does wonders for your hair too, huh?
I always tell myself, oh, you know, it's keeping me young. It's keeping me young, right? So, all right, let's see if we can get on Facebook.
Well, you look fabulous anyways.
Why, thank you. Let's see. Where's it going?
I don't know why anyone would ever accuse me of flirting with anyone, though, is my only problem.
I don't know why people say that, Ralph. I know.
I don't. I'm just being me. Speaking the truth.
Welcome, everybody. We're just going to see if we can get on. Facebook is always hit or miss for us, so we're just seeing if we can do it. I'll be starting here in about 2 minutes. Looks like we're going live. That's pretty exciting. I think we just go live for full moon, not for new moon. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know what makes it work or what does it.
Well, you know, the new moon's in the dark and the full moon's in the light. So, you know, that's.
Well, and it's not on yet, so I don't know.
When we got otherwise, it's hide out in our. Okay.
So, this is the full moon is in where? Is it Ralph?
Pisces.
Got it.
Hanging out there with Neptune.
I said there must be a lot to talk about if you made a video on Saturn.
Yeah, well, you know, that was, yeah. I've been meaning to do that all summer. Saturn goes direct, no time like the present.
Well, isn't that what it's about, isn't it, going direct?
Yeah, it is. It's time to take action. Time to take action. Yeah, you may not have even realized that, but that was like, I want to say maybe my first live video solo video I've done ever. So that would
really?
be a picture up. Yeah, and I catch so much flack from people that I have to, that they want to see me. I'm like, but I want to hide. They say, but no, we want to see you. I'm like, okay.
All right.
There we go.
So let's see.
Oh, and we got a different set of glasses too, huh?
These are my traveling glasses.
Okay.
Come like in a little case like this, so it's easy for me to
Nice.
travel in them. Well, it looks like we're live.
Awesome.
And let's see. I was going to share it into full moon, but it's not letting me do it. So I'll just let it be what it is. Okay. Thanks for y'all's patience, everybody. Welcome, welcome. As Ralph said, we're looking at the
Pisces.
Full moon. So, and then now just doing this. So we're recording, which I just want to resume our recording. Welcome to our September, where are we, full moon? Could be about like full moon, Pisces.
You're doing exactly the Piscean full moon dance, which is
Am I?
Oh yeah, because Pisces is about like, details. Oh, who needs details? That's like a Virgo thing. Pisces is all like, yeah. Look outside, the moon's full, so we must be talking about a full moon.
Woohoo! Exactly. Well, especially since everybody was so freaked out about Friday the 13th and being a full moon. So I'm like, oh, we'll talk about it after the fact, but it's all good. So just making sure. Good. All right. So if you'd like to be a part of our Facebook group, let me go back. You can get to it by going to www.joinmoongatherings.com. It'll put you in there, and then you just, join. The next new moon gathering will be the first Wednesday of October, which is October 2nd. And to register, I would say just take a picture. We also share this in our group so that you can have this information. The next full moon gathering will be in a month, the third Wednesday of the month. And again, here is the link. You get to spend twice a month with Ralph MacIntyre, who is an evolutionary astrologer and astrocartographer. This is his link to his website, which is astro-map-links.com. And as always, to our group, he offers an amazing deal of 50% off his complete world map, which 50% off is $25. It's a great deal. And here is the link for that. Like I said, take a picture if you'd like to take advantage of that. And you'll also receive this in the email. When you register for our webinars, you will receive the email that has all of this information plus the link to get to the recording of it. If you want to know more about me, here's the link for that. That's a directory listing that I have. And then also, if you want to know more about ThetaHealing, this is a really short video on YouTube. And also what all I offer through ThetaHealing, because I'm an instructor as well as a certified coach, and have been a ThetaHealing master. I've been doing this for 14 years. So I've got quite a repertoire of what I offer. And so if you would like to get downloads like what we'll be doing here, you can also get them just like on a daily basis, typically by joining joinblastyourbeliefs.com. That will take you to my Facebook group that does ThetaHealing downloads. So once again, if you'd like to know more about our moon gatherings, www.joinmoongatherings.com. And we're done with that. Yay. So now, just so you know, and I'm sorry if I didn't say this, like I said, I was caught in some Portland traffic. I'm Brenda Bailey. I do this twice a month with Ralph MacIntyre. I'm a ThetaHealing master. Ralph is the evolutionary astrologer and astrocartographer. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure people want to hear all about this full moon that fell on the 13th and what else, because we do so much more for you here. Ralph definitely gives you more for this. So welcome again, and I'm going to hush and mute myself so that Ralph won't tell me that, and let him get started with what he wants to tell us.
Jeez, I'm never going to do that again. All right, well, now that we have Brenda muted, we can start talking about her. I just want to appreciate all the hard work that she does to pull this off, and I just get to be here and watch it all seamlessly appear in front of me. I'm so grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, welcome everyone. So, the full moon in Pisces. So, I've talked a lot about this overarching theme. So we're talking themes and different themes and how they all kind of cycles and how they all work together. So the monthly cycle, the moon cycle, is one part of this, but one of the larger cycles is the cycle of Neptune through the signs. And that to me is kind of the overarching cycle that every other transit is kind of helping you understand. And so the more you understand that, the more you can understand everything that's going on. So just as a review, Neptune, Pisces, is the all possible, all seeing spirit world. It's everything that is literally possible, that's way beyond our capability of understanding. So interestingly enough, the moon is sitting up there next to Pisces, being lit up by the sun. Or excuse me, not Pisces, but Neptune. One of the things you'll notice whenever you talk Pisces or you talk Neptune, you start to remember facts. It's like, okay, that's kind of a Piscean, because Pisces doesn't deal in facts. Pisces deals in feelings and concepts. So anytime you start dealing with Piscean energy, kind of get used to it. Don't trip on it too much, because it happens, especially as an astrologer. A lot of times when I'm talking Pisces, I start losing my ability to even communicate. So we have this big bright moon in the sky next to Neptune in Pisces. So everyone's kind of lit up with this Piscean energy for the full moon. It's, it's got that Friday the 13th little signature to it, kind of add a little like, what does that mean? Full moon on Friday the 13th and Saturn going directly? Oh God, there's got to be some meaning behind this. And there is quite a bit of meaning. I'm going to try to unpack it in the best I can. So we've talked about this Pisces Neptune transit for a while. And I've also mentioned several times, I'm going to mention again because it's important to understand, that that's in a square or a 90-degree aspect to Jupiter. And Jupiter is sitting in Sagittarius. And the reason why this is really important, because Jupiter is the planet that allows us to bring this all-knowing Piscean information into the earthly plane. It's the planet that kind of gives us our wisdom. I know this. I can say this. I can speak of authority with this. I can go big. I can, one of the ways of describing Jupiter is it's the area in life in which you underestimate yourself or you hold yourself back. And this is kind of the dance between the physical world and this Piscean world. Because in the Piscean world, we all are holding ourselves back. None of us are able to come in and out of body, manifest things. I know Brenda likes to wiggle her nose, but she quite hasn't got it to manifest all of the things instantaneously every time. Better be clear here, otherwise I'm going to get myself into deep water in a big hurry. So anyways, this Neptune in Pisces is going to be transiting Jupiter for a little while now. So they're going to be kind of locked together. They're going to form a direct, I want to say it was the 21st. The transit will be direct on that day, will be significant, but through really the next several months, I want to say almost the next year, these two planets are going to be dancing together. And so from a high level, Neptune and Pisces wants us to be one with God, cut all the blocks, all of the barriers. That's what Neptune wants. And Jupiter has a similar desire. It's not so much one with God, but it wants us to live up to our true potentials, our true possibilities, own our wisdom, speak our truth, communicate. I know I'm capable is kind of Jupiter's dance. So interestingly, when the sun is lighting up the moon, or when it's called the full moon, that means the sun is opposite the moon. And so when something is opposite, that means whatever the first thing was squaring, so is the planet opposite. So it's kind of like 0, 90, 180. So if something's at 0 degrees and something's at 90 degrees, they're square. And then if something's at 180, they're, what this is typically called in astrology, it's called a T-square, meaning it's a T, but it's also a square. So Jupiter is squaring Neptune and squaring the sun as of the full moon. So, interestingly enough, Jupiter is to Gemini as Virgo is to Pisces. So, one of the things about astrology in the world is that there's a natural balance of things. So it's like on one side, you have this all that's possible. You know, if you go over there, you're very quickly overwhelmed. And that's the Piscean side. On the other side, we have Virgo. And Virgo's about discernment, discrimination. Virgo's about what can I use today? I don't care what's possible. What helps me today is Virgo. So Virgo is kind of the making it usable. It's bringing the vastness, getting rid of what's not usable and allowing it to be brought into the world. So that's Virgo to Pisces. So now Gemini is similar to Pisces in the sense that Gemini likes to know everything, wants to see and learn everything. And Sagittarians, like, yeah, learning and understanding everything is good, but it's also good to be an authority, to know, to step back and say, oh, wait a minute, I'm not learning about this, I actually know. And so there's some discrimination and discernment qualities of Sagittarius to Gemini. So we have these two kind of unlimited sources of information, Pisces and Gemini. And then we have opposite, two things that kind of narrow it, bring it to usable things. So that's kind of what this full moon, what's kind of happening, what's the immediate part of this large cycle that's on the table. So anytime the moon's in Virgo, or excuse me, anytime the sun's in Virgo, or anytime a planet's in Virgo, it's about discrimination, discernment. Can I utilize this now? Is this the right time to use this? I talked about last time about, you know, when's what right, wrong. It's when it's the wrong time, the person's not ready. So I don't really want to go into that so much this time, but I want to go into more what keeps us from knowing and acting at the right time. Brenda kind of made this comment about, you know, this video I put out today. And I jokingly said, yeah, I've been needing to put this video out for like 6 months now, but Saturn going direct, you know, having to be an astrologer, it's like, now is a good time to kind of like, because Saturn's the great taskmaster. And so I want to kind of enter that transit into this mix a little bit. So imagine that our goal is to be connected to God. You know, enlightenment is self-realization. It's the realizing that we are connected to God, letting go of all the things that keep us from connecting to God. So if that's our common goal, Saturn is here to help. Saturn is to keep us here, kept on task. And Saturn can be the great taskmaster. It can kind of keep it, you know, Saturn's the part of you that it's, you know, cleans the house, that does the things you don't want to do. Saturn's the part that gets you up every morning. That's a Saturnian energy. So one of the keys to understanding what's going on currently, especially with the Saturn going direct, is the south node of the moon. Because whenever the south node of the moon is touching something or near something, we have to look to the negative side of it. So Saturn, what's some of the negative side of Saturn? Responsibility gone wrong. So taking on responsibility that you don't need to. In my opinion, our society is kind of addicted to that. You know, it's like, oh, why don't you meditate every day? Oh, I'm so busy. Why are you so busy? Oh, because I'm taking on all this stuff that I shouldn't do, so I don't have to meditate. It's like, okay, honey, you can do that. That works, but what about the meditation? Oh, but Sally, she needs help, and her kid's having trouble, and I can help her. And that's kind of, I'm being humorous and over exaggerating, but that's taking on responsibilities that on some levels you shouldn't take on. So that's one of the negative sides of Saturn. The other negative side of Saturn, and I can tend to kind of channel this one better than I should probably, is not taking on responsibilities. Be kind of like, oh yeah, whatever. Sally can deal with whatever, who cares about doing laundry? I can always do it tomorrow. And cleaning your house, God, there's always something more fun to do than cleaning your house. Until you want to bring someone over and your house is so disgusting, you're like, oh God, I guess I should have cleaned my house last Saturday because now I can't answer the door when someone. And so that's Saturn, responsibility. So understanding the right aspect of responsibility. So if you're remembering what I just said, you might start to be kind of putting the two together. So Neptune's all this possibility. It's the psychic sensitivity. It's like, oh God, I know Sally's having a hard time. I can feel that if I help her out, it's easier for me. That's that Piscean connectedness. And then on the other side, Virgo's kind of like, okay, meditate every day, So it's like you go help Sally, you don't meditate, then you go off on your body. This Saturn plays into this Neptune, Sagittarius, Virgo kind of dance we're doing. So Saturn has been going retrograde for most of the summer. And what that in a nutshell means is that the work is inward. It's about looking. So interestingly enough, as an astrologer, anytime any big publicized transit happens, your phone kind of goes off the hook. Like, what's this mean to me? It's like, what am I supposed to do with this? And it's like, okay. The simple answer is to look where you were agitated this summer. Look at the things that lit you up, the things that kind of made you like, oh my God, pulling my hair out. What's really going on? And because what Saturn retrograde is doing is pointing to all the ways in which you're using Saturn in a way that's not conducive to your true meaning, your true goal. It's all the negative side of Saturn. So one of the other sides of Saturn that I like to talk about, very few people talk about, is personal boundaries. And this is a big part of Saturn, especially for us Piscean type, people who are sensitive, people who feel other people's energy. It's like Saturn wants you to have a relationship with other people's energy that's beneficial for all involved. So it's like Saturn wants you to have enough personal boundaries to where you can walk to the store and get your groceries, go out in public and do your thing, be able to say no to Sally because you have to meditate because you have a stressful thing with your boss tomorrow and you don't want to lose your job. That's Saturn's ability to kind of, put a wall there. And so part of what's happening is that as Saturn goes retrograde this summer, all the things that are, so to speak, Saturn in the negative or Saturn not in the higher manifestation, all the ways in which you use Saturn that don't longer serve you are getting lit up. And so this can become in the appearance of, God, my friends are just driving me crazy. My girlfriend is driving me crazy. My boss is driving me crazy. This out onto someone else. You know, another way of looking at that same thing is, so why am I manifesting this in my friends right now? Why am I manifesting this in my girlfriend now? Why am I manifesting this in my boss right now? And the more you dive into that, the more you're going to start to understand what this Saturn going direct is asking of you. Because really what Saturn going direct is asking of you is to deal with all the stuff you noticed during Saturn retrograde. All those things that lit up, Saturn going direct, it's like, okay, we pointed it out, now it's time to take action. You know, personal boundaries, taking responsibility of things that you should take on and not of things you're not. You know, really deciding, what are you? Are you a human doer? Are you a human being? Are you a spiritual body in a physical experience? So, you know, it's like, if that's really what you want, then how is the structure of your life? And when Saturn goes retrograde, or anytime any planet goes retrograde, it's asking you to look inward, understanding what's happening. So the real easy way is like, what lit you up this summer? What bothered you? You know, take action, establish boundaries with friendships. You know, it's like, no, Sally, I can't help you during the week. I can only come out on the weekends because I have time. You know, it's like, I need to meditate, you know, or whatever it might be, you know, or maybe it might be like getting off your butt and putting a video out that you've been wanting for like 6 months, knowing you need to do it. You know, it's all sorts of different things, but it's not so much an external thing. You'll know by what lit you up. So the more you're honest with yourself, the less you project onto someone else, the more you really kind of look deep. It's like, okay, so why am I manifesting this in my life? You know, and this is where Brenda's work is so powerful, because, you know, it's so much of, a lot of this comes from trauma, which is that Pluto. I haven't talked about Pluto very much, but Pluto's in Capricorn, interacting with the nodes, interacting with Saturn. And Pluto's all the subconscious. Pluto's all the past life stuff, all these things that are kind of acting behind the scenes. And that's where the Brenda, you know, the Theta Healing will really help kind of break some of this loose. And especially as you identify some of these issues, you know, so as you start to really unpack some of this, and this is a lot of what I do in my readings, is I help people really dive in and understand what's really going on between, you know, it's like, what's, you know, you have these feelings coming up from this transits, but understanding what's behind the feelings, what the motivation, what the direction it's pushing you in. The way I like to describe it is, if you know the question, it's way easier to get a right answer. Versus if you have no idea what the question is, very likely your answer is not going to be as correct or as in line as if you know the answer. All right, let me take a look at little John, my notes, and see where I went awry. All right. So there was one planet that I did not mention that's actually, so technically speaking, the sun, well, there's two planets that are kind of forming this T-square between Neptune, Jupiter, and then on the other side it would be the sun. But planet that on the moon that was the most direct or the closest in action was Mars. And Mars is what gets you up. Mars is kind of like, I want, I do, I take. Mars is like, I want to go for a run. I want to, Mars is action. The key with Mars, the real key with Mars is this appropriate action. And this is where Mars runs amok in pretty much most people's life. This is something where I struggle with Mars a lot. I tell people how I'm mellow until I'm not, and generally with Mars, what happens is it's like, oh, that's bothering me. I should tell this person it bothers me. It's like, no, I'll be nice. I'm not going to. And then a week later, it's like, oh, that's bothering me. Oh, yeah. Then another week later, oh my God, that's, and you just go ballistic on the person. And it's like, oh, okay, you could have told me. And so when you find Mars going angry, it's generally tied back to not taking appropriate action. And this can be taking action in like, this bugs me, or taking action like putting out a video, or things like that. And so this Mars is in Virgo, wanting us to really kind of, the fire has been lit, the boot has been applied, the energy is pushing us to take action. Saturn going direct, Mars interacting with this by a T-square in Virgo is really kind of, so some of the agitation, which you will experience now as you move forward, the agitation will be not so much what you're supposed to take action about, it's that you're not taking action, So it's like, had I not done a video or had I not done certain things, I'd start to then deal with some of the agitation or the consequences of it. So as we move forward right now, as I said at the last one, this transit's a great time to initiate things. What is this information that you've been getting coming in from Neptune? How do you bring it into your knowledge? How do you bring it into the way that people can discern and utilize it that's beneficial for you and them? That's the key to this transit, and so much of a lot of this is blocks. A lot of times, especially with this Neptunian energy, the last time past life you spoke it and something traumatic happened to you. So it's back to that Leo looking for the right audience. But now's the time. Action it's a good time to take appropriate action, to take action on things that are long-term projects that are actually truly, truly, truly benefit to your goal of being more connected to God. And so there's a dance. It's like, does my house stress me out, or does my house give me a place to meditate? Does my job stress me out, or does my job give me enough money to where I can pay for my house and meditate? Is it time to start taking on side projects? A lot of people, they want to jump into it, and I'll straight up firsthand tell you, I wouldn't recommend it to jump into trying to make a living from some of your more spiritual practices. I did it just because I'm crazy that way, and I'm lazy, and if I'm not starving, I'm not motivated, but I wouldn't recommend it. So it may be a time to like, oh, if I go home and I don't take on extra nonsense at work, if I don't take on salary, I can then go home and start writing on my blog. I can do my video. If I tell my husband, it's like, hey, can you watch the kids this night? I need a little time. I need to set up a new boundary. I need to cut off a little more space. All of this. And the more you take action, the more you really step into this, bringing that information down into the world in a usable way, the easier this next couple of months will be. So, was there any questions so far? How'd I do, Brenda? You got any questions? You can unmute yourself, by the way, now. You don't have my permission.
Oh, thank you, Ralph. Thank you. Well, no, I don't. I'm just hoping that I caught everything. So we're going to probably go for a second round. I didn't bring my plug out for the computer, so I was like, that's why I've got the second thing, because I'm like, okay, in case my computer dies, I've got the backup on the phone.
Oh, nice.
So I was figuring that out. Anybody
It's
have
funny
any
because that's where I was
far?
last month.
Were you?
Or last week. Yeah. It's like, I was like, oh, is my internet going to die midstream?
I know we got a little garbly in certain places, but I know we got, he set some explanations that worked really well. So yeah, we're good. And the number kept going up. I guess it was just like that energy going, it will stay on. So I'm going to do a couple of things, and then I'm going to ask Ralph for some feedback, and also for y'all as well, if there was something that you heard that you'd like to have shifted. So with theta healing, you know, what we say is that people can tell me how they think and how they feel. What you create in your life is what you believe, and you hold that at a cellular level. So what theta healing does is it changes your beliefs on a cellular level. It also removes any trauma at a cellular level. It allows you to do forgiveness at a cellular level. And that just makes it so much easier. I don't care like how long you've prayed or that you've, you know, said you've forgiven somebody. I'm telling you, it's always still there unless you do it through theta healing. So it's a really amazing modality. And I always start off with people with 3 basic beliefs. Make sure that we have those in place. I want an instant healing, I deserve an instant healing, and an instant healing is possible. So we want to make sure those 3 are in place. And you just want to say yes out loud, right? So when we say yes out loud, it tells our brain, it tells the universe, it tells whoever you believe to be your higher power that yes, indeed, this is what I want. And it puts it all into action. So I want an instant healing, I deserve an instant healing, and instant healing is possible. If you'd like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, Ralph. So when we work with trauma, we talk about removing free-floating memories. And I always talk about going to the original event, because you can tell me about in this lifetime, but with theta healing, we also work from what we inherit from our ancestors, what we can bring in from a past life, if you believe in that. If you don't, it's okay. And what we carry in with our soul. So when we're talking about removing free-floating memories, that's we do it from the original event, right? Because we may not know exactly where it started. And we don't have to with theta healing, which is beautiful. So we remove the free-floating memories from the original event, and that just will neutralize it. So we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from being one with God. We also want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from owning our own wisdom. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from speaking our truth. So if you'd like those, just say yes out loud. Ralph's not saying yes. What's going on, Ralph? Maybe we can't hear him. So just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. He is asleep at the wheel there, guys. Keep in mind, if you share the link for this video once it's available, that anybody who says yes out loud will get the downloads, whether they watch it live or whether they see a recording. Okay, right. So, so Margie, are you saying that you didn't hear like these last downloads to say yes to? Okay, so the 3 that we just said yes to are removing the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent you from being one with God, removing the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent you from owning your own wisdom, and removing the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent you from speaking your truth. So we're going to do it again. Sorry, there was freeze there. Just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. We want to look at removing the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us at looking at what is helpful or what is relevant today. Okay? And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that we're obligated to take on responsibility that we don't need to. And we also want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that obligate us to be a task master. So when I say that, the thing is that there's nothing wrong with being a taskmaster. You just want to have a choice. And of course, now that Saturn has gone direct, we can be more task-oriented and more goal-oriented and everything else that Ralph said, but we want to have a choice in that. So if you'd like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from taking appropriate action. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from creating and being in win-win situations. We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from establishing boundaries, and then also remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from re-establishing boundaries in case we've lost them during this time that Ralph has talked about, right? So if you'd like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
We want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from being honest with ourselves. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that obligate us to be reactive. And we want to remove the free-floating memories from the original event that prevent us from knowing the question to ask. So if you'd like those, just say yes out loud.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's the downloads that I have. Did you have anything that you wanted to add, Ralph, that I possibly missed?
No, I'm feeling pretty complete.
All right. Anything else, guys? Anybody who is part of our group here that heard something that they wanted to have shifted that I may have missed or that Ralph may have said and I missed? I'm going to give you a second here to type something in if you'd like. Or maybe something that you didn't catch because it did freeze up, because I know that that's happened a little bit this evening. All right, so it's pretty exciting. A lot of stuff going on. We thank you for joining us. And again, please invite people to join us in the webinar, to come live if you'd like. Again, it's free. Thank you for the new people that we had who joined us. I know that came because Ralph finally sent out an email. I'm sure that that's how it happened. And know that there are 2 different webinars, one for the full moon, one for the new moon. So they are 2 different like sign-ins. But the deal is that once you register, we notify you when it is, right? So that's nice. And then you'll also get all the information plus the recording, right? When you register with the webinars. Anything else you want to add, Ralph? Because you're laughing.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad Saturn's going direct, because I'm trying to have a new relationship with my inner taskmaster.